Satu persoalan besar buat semua pihak berhubung tindakan kerajaan Myanmar yang dilihat menutup mata berhubung isu krisis masyarakat Rohingya. Krisis membabitkan etnik itu bukan lagi isu baru, sebaliknya sudah membelenggu Rohingya sejak 1960-an lagi. Kafe Ahad minggu ini berpeluang menemu bual pengarah eksekutif Jaringan Hak Asasi Manusia Burma, Kyo Win. Ikuti temu bual wartawan Amir Abdul Hamid dan Muhammad Saufi Hassan bagi menyingkap realiti sebenar kemelut yang melanda etnik terbabit sejak sekian lama.
This is very interesting. I mean, Rohingya issue is they're using in many ways. Yeah, the main root cause is the anti-Muslim sentiments, the hatred on Muslims, the hatred on Christians. So we come across with the terms which call religious-based ethno-nationalism. Yeah, this is a what I think is appropriate to use this. There's a religious-based ethno-nationalism in Burma. In order to Burmese acceptable person as a majority, you must be Buddhist. Yeah, Buddhists and Burmese are very special. These are majority, but also they have a problems. Consequence of every layer of society, we have a problems with the we are facing discrimination from Burmese military army. But now current situation is changing, but the life of those Rohingya people is worsening. Yeah, the world is expecting that Burma has become a democratic country. Everyone's sharing their successful stories, but at the same time, on the other hand, there are Muslim people who has been discriminated, who has been tortured and destroyed by the state army, are now facing eliminations. This is a very dangerous moment because you are looking at the surface level, which is all right, everything, and without looking properly, without analyzing the issues, and could jump to the judgment that, oh, that's very good, Burma is successful. It means you are indirectly neglecting the crime against humanity, and I think this is very appalling. You mean R2P, right to protect? Yes, of course, we really want to ask them, ask the international community, because it is in the situation, Rohingya people are very dangerous situations that for small reasons they have been punished, and the use of force is very excessive. For example, a few weeks ago, in a village called Cha Gong Town, where military were ambushed. So a few officers and force were killed. But after many hours means about next day, they sent 2 helicopter gunships to the area where the insurgents were left. Those who were pick up arms and fighting against the military operations, they were left. When they left, they punished the villagers with using 2 helicopter gunships. So this is what very clearly documented these kind of issues. So this is there is no exaggerations, and I think defending the crime against humanity. Tell me, is there any worse and ugly things than this kind of things, this kind of a crime, when you are defending the crimes against humanity? You know, this is something we need to consider. Why people are doing this, and we must tell them to stop this. And this is not any race or any religion, but this is for the humanity. And I'm very proud of, and want to congratulate Malaysian peoples and Malaysian government. You have taken a very important step. Yeah, and that's really proud of you. That's very important points you have mentioned, and thank you very much for asking these questions. And this is the many things involved in this question as well, let me tell you. It is a Right now, there are WFP and few other NGOs and other organizations. They are supporting rations for the Rohingya peoples. Yeah, and we need to look at this. They are not allowed to travel one village to another village, and they cannot allow to walk any other place, because since they cannot, their travel rights is rejected, so they have no way to travel, and it is difficult for them to look for the jobs. So majority of them unemployed, and also living in a very disadvantaged situations. So these people need a lot of help, mental help as well, not only foods. They need mental help. They need so many encouragement, but which is not there. And right now, the WFP has a very interesting criteria. I think this is not by the WFP. This is by the government, and WFP has to follow the government instructions, which is, in order to receive food supply, food rations, your home must be burned down, or you don't have any place to live, then you are eligible for food rations. So there are majority of the Rohingya people who has homes, yeah, but they don't have any means to support their family. They lost their shops, they lost their money, they lost everything, and they don't even properly operate their businesses. There are few people, very few people, who are still trying to survive, but these are insignificant numbers. You don't even count, they're so small. So majority of the people are facing starvations. And remember that this starvation is not few days. This has been facing since years. Yeah? I think it's from 2012, yeah? So 2012 they are facing these problems. So now it's 2016, 3-4 years. So the consequence of this are not only the adult people, but they are significantly affecting on the children, which is so dangerous. So the children's, according to ACF reports, this is a very recent one. I mean, they're published on 2015, but they're carrying out since 2013. And the report said the sample size of few hundreds, nearly, 600-700 children they pick up, and there is a WHO World Health Organization has an alarming level. They have put some level which is beyond that. When someone who reaches this level is so dangerous for their lives. But there are 20% of these children above the alarming level. Approximate estimation, yeah, is estimation about 20% of the children are facing beyond the alarming level. Means they are very likely to die, to lose their lives. Why? Because of the malnutrition. Look, I would like to tell you the size of the problem, what it is reality is. Why I can tell you this is because we've been monitoring and we've been studying all the strategies, all the effects, all the problems, all the historical changes, and we come to the conclusion that seems that Burmese government has a major strategy that want to take away all the rights from the Muslims, and also they want to isolate Muslim community gradually, that in one day there will be no more Muslim in Burma, because Muslims are unbearable to live there. It's impossible to live there. Situations and pressures they have been created, which is tremendous. It's really dangerous. If you look at the Rohingya area, yeah, one cannot travel, have to apply to marry one. To marry, before you marry, you have to apply a few years ago, and if you want to travel, you have to write so many applications, and then you have to spend money. It's very strange. Even someone who lived in that country since their ancestors, and in 2012 and after 2012, President Thein Sein himself said in a interview with VOA, Voice of America, he said there is no illegal immigrants. Yeah, so why, and then if they are not illegal immigrants, then who are they? And Rohingya peoples are not fall down from the sky. They are not suddenly appear from the grounds. Yeah, so they've been living there since several centuries. Yeah, so after the 1973 census report, and Burmese government, they realized that there are Muslim populations stronger, growing, because economically Muslims are very in advantageous stages until 1964. But after nationalizations, Muslims have been significantly weakened. But this time, the new wave of attack on other Muslims is they first target the Rohingya people, because the Rohingya peoples are major groups, largest group in Muslim in Burma. Yeah, and they are existing in one place like Mayu, which is a northern Rakhine state. So this area belongs to Rohingya people. Yeah, and also there are other Muslim in Rakhine state as well, who is known as Kaman people. Yeah, so there are different ethnic Muslims in Burma. So the largest community is Rohingya people. Pardon? My ethnic, we have a mix. We have some Indian bloods, and also Burmese we have mixed. But Rohingya peoples they have been living since. You can find some interesting places in Rakhine State. There are 600 years old mosque, which is known as Chandi Khan Mosque. It is known as a general, very famous general, who fight for the Rakhine State, defending the Rakhines. So from the invaders, Burmese invaders and others. So he has been given a very big mosque by the king. And also there are more than 10 kings who use Islamic names. That these are Buddhist kings. They use Islamic names. And also they printed coin with Islamic inscriptions. So it means there are Muslim influences very strong. Or maybe for the sake of argument, you may say that they are because of the Indian kingdom. Empire was very Mughal kingdom was very powerful. That's why this may influence. But one thing is, because one historian, the one scholar who visited Rakhine State, he said his name is Buchanan, Francis Buchanan. He visited there in 1793, and he discovered that he wrote in his book that when he reached to Chittagong hill tracks, he found a community which is known as they call themselves Rohang, and they are Mohammedans, and they have a dark skins. Mohammedan means Muslims. So they have been existing this location. They are not the new illegal immigrants. That's very wrong narratives, and these narratives has been created throughout the history and in Burma throughout the time of the dictators, and also they also changed a lot of things in history, and they created so many one-sided histories, and they accusing that the Rohingya people are brought by the British Empire, British colony to use as slaves. So they are the slaves. They're degrading these people. So, which is very wrong. And this is the Burmese are the one who conquered Rakhine State. Rakhine was a kingdom before, and they annexed to the Burma. So it means Rohingyas, Rakhine as a different separate kingdom before. So these are Burmese who invaded their land. It's not the Rohingya who migrated. So Muslims has been the very big. Rohingya has been very big portions of Muslim community. So about approximately 40-45% or 50%. Once these people has been put as in a category of illegal immigrants, and their citizenship right has been taken away, so it means legally Muslim has been halved. Yeah, and other half are widespread in Burma, so they are doing systematically another half as well. So now there is another category of immigrations. You must be Buddhist in order to be a Burmese. Or if you're not Buddhist, your ethnicity put mixed with something else, and you go into the mixed categories. This is called unwritten law in Burma. This unwritten law, you will face every offices. Yeah, this is their duty. You have to follow this. So as soon as you belongs to a Muslim, Islam, or Christians, they put you into a mixed group, and your category is because you are in that category, your application will take 2-3 years. Within these 2-3 years, you are not allowed to vote, and you can't go to higher educations. It is difficult for you to travel. So these are consequences here. In any sector. Yeah. So now, being a Muslim, you are going to face this kind of discriminations. Yeah, and now they are gradually coming up one after another, and now Muslims are not allowed to join in armed force since the military junta, and your Muslims are not allowed to join in the police force, and probably they never give any big positions to Muslims, and this is a very clear position, clear proof. And under the Aung San Suu Kyi government, she is intentionally barred all Muslim candidates from elections from her party. So now we don't have any representative in Burma, in Burmese parliament. We call this Muslim free parliament. There is no Muslims in there, and we have no voice. So this is our rights has been taken away under the democratic government. Yeah, who's supposed to protect us? Who's supposed to give us our rights? But on the contrary, they're taking away our rights. And they're giving the excuses that because of the Mabata, who are extremist Buddhists, and they don't want them to blame them that they are following. So what? This is a democratic value. It means Burma is not ready for the democracy. This is the proof they are giving, and which is very wrong. And they have a leadership role. Aung San Suu Kyi is considered as a leader of public Burmese public. Yeah, she should have courage to show the right direction to the public. But instead, she is following the narrative, and she's also, defending the crime against humanity. And this is a very shameful, I think. As a Nobel laureate, this is a principle for every Nobel laureate to stand up for the human rights, and they must stand up crime against humanity. Against the crime against humanity. But now she is defending the military. She's saying that these are all false fabrications. I love to challenge all this kind of negligence and this kind of irresponsible denials of crime against humanity. We have been documenting. This is not our own one organization. The Human Rights Watch is doing amazing job. They share the satellite pictures that houses has been burned down, and Burmese government have never taken the diplomats to that area yet. We already discovered Burmese government took those diplomats from some countries, not Malaysia included, Indonesia ambassador, and US, UK, China, India. They took them to some places where the insurgents group attacked, not the place where Burmese government has attacked. So it means this is a very clear evidence that Burmese government is hiding the evidences from Indonesian community.
So we can conclude that all Muslim in Burma being discriminated.
Of course, this is very clear. Look, in 2013, one orphanage school was targeted in Mektila. 28 Muslim children has been burned alive, beaten to death by adults. What's their age? 12, 13, 11 years old. And I saw that, I watched the video clips, and until now I can't forget this. They are swearing them, look, we are Burmese now. We are finishing you now. this kind of swearing. I mean, there are some good Buddhists. There are many good Buddhists. If Buddhists are bad, we can't live. Muslim will not exist in Burma anymore. So we don't want to narrate this another extreme as well. We want to avoid this as well. Yeah. So there is a one Buddhist monk who came out to protect Muslims, and he gave shelter to many Muslims families, and he was stood up in front of the gate. He said, "You must kill me before you kill them." So this is a very encouraging evidence as well. I mean, we need to encourage such people to be more. But at the same time, there are some kind of misunderstanding that only Rohingya peoples are facing discriminations and persecution, which is very wrong. There are Christians in northern Burma, in eastern Burma. They are facing such a hardships. Yeah, this is all crime against humanity. Yeah, we must raise all these voices, because once we are talking about the humanity, then we will be united. If only Muslims talk about Muslims and Christian only talk about Christians, then it means we said we are divided. No, this is wrong. We must talk for everyone. Yeah, Muslims also talk about Christians as well. Why not? We all brothers and sisters in humanity. So I stand up for everyone. Anyone suffering in Burma, I will stand up for them. And we should, why not? And our ASEAN country must not allow this kind of genocide in our times. We always ask our parents, something happened in Cambodia, something happened in that place, in this place. What did you do? Next day our children will ask, this is our time now. We must stop this. We can do this. At least we can feel them that what they are doing is wrong. This is not acceptable. And under the pretext of democratic reforms, you are not allowed to kill people. And international community, in Western government, in Eastern government, everyone must stand up this and tell the Burmese government enough is enough.
I stand by issues of humanity and
Yeah.
what have you done as an executive director of human rights?
My duty is we are monitoring all the situation in the ground and all the human rights abuses and violations of freedom of religion and violations of minority rights, all these kind of human rights violations. As much as we can, we monitor and we document and we share the reports and the press release, and we travel around the world and meet with the communities and governments and NGOs and organizations and media. Why not? So this is the way how we convey our message.
So respond for
Yeah, there are, as you see, the diplomatic efforts is not very fast. It takes time. It needs resilience. It needs to be determinations. But our determination is, we are looking for the solutions without violence. That's why it takes time. And because this is not our culture, or I don't believe that any problem should be solved by violence way. Although we are being targeted by violently, we are being victim of violence, but it is not good reason to adopt violence way. Yet we have a still right to defend ourselves. And we should also understand that we are facing a government who doesn't care about humanity. And this is the government cannot confronted by the weak people, small group of people alone. We need international community to stand up with us, because our aim is peaceful solutions, and peaceful solution cannot achieve by the violence.